Hey guys, what's going on? It's Blockbull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now, today we're going to take an overview of the chart. So we're not specifically just going to be looking at Onyx XCN coin today. We are going to look at the economic calendar as well to see which sort of catalysts are on the horizon. Okay, so we do have the CME group. Fantastic tool. This is predominantly for the Fed meetings where they typically discuss interest rates. So the next FOMC meeting is in 23 days, 4 hours at the time of recording. And if we come down here, we can see the target rate of probabilities for the 7th of May when the next Fed meeting is due to occur. So there's an 85% chance or a probability that rates will remain the same, and there's a 15% chance we will see rates cut. We really want rates to be cut. Now you can see down here over the month and over the week how the probabilities are changing. So it was only a month ago on the 14th of March, we had a higher percentage or a higher chance that there will be a rate cut around 27.7%. Then it actually increased with all this sort of tariffs going on back and forth with China, etc. And it's slowly diminished now. So, you know what? Donald Trump is trying to get the rates cut. Yeah, we want the rates to be cut, and the only way he's going to do that is if he actually decimates other countries and creates uncertainty in the market. So there could be some more uncertainty to come from the markets, and he could use tariffs as a tool. There's many other ways that Donald Trump can actually manipulate the markets. Okay, so he's still looking to bring down the interest rate, so we're still not out of the woods yet. Now, if I come over to the economic calendar as well, this is just the month of April as well, so we are looking for the red filter, if you will. So this is the impact upon the markets. Okay, obviously we can skip past all this sort of data as well. Currently the 14th of April at the time of recording. So the next sort of impactful information or economic data set to be released is the 16th of April there. We've got the retail sales, and we've also got the Fed Chair Powell speech as well. So we're probably going to sort of consolidate now for the next couple of days, which I did highlight in the previous video. So we're looking Wednesday this week before we see some volatility certainly coming into the markets. Now let's just click in now. I've got to log in to actually see what that's all about. So took off his blah 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 blah. So that's just a background information. So anyway, we'll have to do some more digging into around that 5:30. That is UK time. Okay, I do believe New York time is 5 hours behind UK, so that will be approximately 12:30 on Wednesday the 16th of April, guys. So just look out for that. So do expect some sort of consolidation. Now let's take a look at Bitcoin now. So if I just come out onto the daily time frame here, you can see here, as always, we're just marking out the sort of lows and the highs, the closes. So we want to know where the buyers are coming in and where the sellers are stepping into the market. And this is why trend lines are so important. So this is what's happening now on the daily. We're getting Bitcoin breaking out. So why are we looking at the Bitcoin chart before we dive into some of the other charts? Well, simply put, as always, Bitcoin tends to dictate where the market is going, unless you're XCN, for example, because XCN, as you know, likes to just decouple from the market and does its own thing, guys. Okay, but this is looking very positive for crypto at the moment. We've got a breakout here over the weekend, and we retested yesterday, Sunday. Again, Sundays are always in negative for whatever reason. So if you're ever looking to actually buy into the market, just wait until a Sunday. Yeah, you don't even have to look at levels. You're pretty much guaranteed on a Sunday it comes down, it dips down, does a retest. Low volume, low liquidity, place your entries on a Sunday, get back in, and hopefully we can have a good week. But it's looking positive ahead of that Wednesday's sort of Fed meeting there, Fed Chair Powell speech. So hopefully we can get some good announcements coming out of Wednesday's Fed speech. Okay, so yeah, Bitcoin looking really well, and you can see this is reflecting into the markets as well. For example, like if we do go over to XCN, a lot of people tune into the channel now for XCN. Let's just take out yesterday's TA. You can see this consolidation now. We've got a couple of red candles here consolidating sideways. But like I say, I do believe this is going to be a new sort of 5 count. So we got the 1, the 2. We're waiting for Wednesday before we start 3. So anyone that's obviously Discord members as well are obviously asking, family members looking to get into XCN, for example. Should family members get in to XCN at this stage? Maybe just wait it out for another day to see if there's any sort of fluctuations or volatility before that Wednesday's Fed speech. Okay, I do presume again this is all probabilities. It looks as if we are moving into a new upwards trend, yeah. So XCN obviously got going in a favourable mood. We have all that downside. We've created wave one. We're looking to, kind of mark the bottom for wave two. Then, we're going into sort of wave three, which will be the most profitable wave. I do believe that wave three will go up to sort of 16 cent. How long that wave three is going to take is anybody's guess, yeah. There's no time analysis with this, but I do expect us, to get up to sort of 16 cent before the next Fed meeting around the 7th of May. So it could take up until the sort of 7th of May before we do see up to sort of 16 cent. But I do expect some huge gains for XCN. So that is just XCN. Like I say, that's just a rough sketch and illustration because we have got a lot of other coins. Swift is highly correlated with XCN. So I did buy some XCN a couple of days ago. I think it was on this sort of candle somewhere along this sort of region here. So even though the consolidation has been happening for the past sort of 3 days here, 1, 2, 3, we're probably up if you have bought below the sort of daily closes or certainly around the sort of open and caught that nice green candle there. So we're looking really well, guys. So we are looking for Wednesday now for the next big move up. Like I said, this is probably going to be very, very similar to sort of XM where we get the 1, we get the 2, and then we get the 3. We'll probably be just looking at taking out these highs, and we could probably surpass these highs as well. So I do expect Swiftcoin to get up to these sort of highs here, which would be around 4 cents 7. Now let's just measure up from current price action where that could take us. So if we just get up to these sort of recent highs in February, that is a 212% move. And that's just to get us going. Like I say, I do believe we can go much higher. Obviously, we'll be looking at a sort of 4 and then a 5th wave sort of correction. So let's just zoom out here. In fact, this is all the price data that we've got on the chart. So ultimately, once we do start surpassing that, it looks like the all-time high, to be fair, unless there's more data that Coinbase isn't stipulating on this particular exchange. But as soon as we get into price discovery, obviously the excitement will pick up dramatically for Swiftcoin. Now, if you guys want to join the Discord, the link below is in the description, theblockbulls.com. Make sure if you're interested in any of these cryptos, make sure to join the Discord. So just click on there and then you can just add to cart and check out that way, yeah. So view cart, check out, doesn't really matter. And then just fill out your details there. You can join us guys in the Discord as well. It'll be good to see you guys over there. So that is Swiftcoin, also looking very, very positive. So we got Bitcoin looking positive, got XCN and also the correlated Swiftcoin looking really well. You can see the rest of the coins now if I filter them through the sort of daily gains. Velor looking really good now. So let's just have a look at Velor because again, this is a really good coin to be invested in terms of ROI. It looked as if we were coming down to this blue line. Again, you can manipulate these. There's no sort of, they're not exactly set in stone, but for me, that's probably the bottom there where those tariffs are. And you can see here, you could see that previous TA where it brought down there, that sort of falling wedge. So these are sort of marking out the tops. Again, they don't have to be perfect. Yeah, we don't have to take every top. But for me, this is fairly accurate. So if we just take these sort of daily closes from the end of January, this is where XN input the recent high as well on the 26th of January. So around this sort of point, you're looking at these highs, and then obviously we've been tackling these highs. Now, Velor over the last couple of days, or certainly over the weekend, has broken out. So we got a nice green candle there, a closure above that sort of supply and demand zone. So we've got a green candle there. And despite us coming down with this red candle here on Sunday, again, where you typically enter your positions, then it's picking up now. So Velor looks as if it's going to be breaking out now, a sort of 2-month sort of structure. Yeah, let's just measure back now. So from sort of current price action from today, you can see here 83 days it's taken to break this sort of trend line, break resistance. So it looks as if now Velor can start challenging this sort of higher sort of supply and demand zone up at this sort of red line. So some strong gains to be had. If we get trading back up there, again, 200% returns approximately. Yeah, before then, I do expect some sort of euphoria because sooner or later, we're going to crack this red line. And once that red line cracks, then we'll be looking at some sort of, some sort of massive moves to get up to these sort of highs up here. If we just sort of, highlight this sort of consolidation box here. So you can see here from sort of high to low here in this consolidation before we actually broke out of support. We broke support, and that's when we went into this sort of prolonged bear market. So again, let's get that 200%. So what's that? That's a 3x on your capital from current prices with Velor, and then obviously we'll be looking at some sort of euphoria then to get up to these sort of boxes there. So look at that. Look at how the gains significantly increase. You're looking at 2,200. So that's a 23x just for a conservative sort of price target. Okay. Then obviously if you're looking at getting up to all-time highs, you're looking at 15,000%. So we're looking at 152x for Velo at this stage. So these are massive, massive targets. So if you're only invested with $1, $2, $3, $4, $5,000 invested in the markets, I would suggest, never financial advice, getting into these smaller cap gems. Yeah, you're not going to make any money off Bitcoin or Ethereum. You're going to make money, but not enough. So XCN, Swiftcoin, which is correlated, Velor, which is very, very strong, and my favorite as well, VRA. VRA has got to run up massively. You can see here, I'll just highlight for you guys, if we zoom in fact, let's just take a look at the broader picture. So we've got this here, and this is all-time high up here, yeah, around that sort of 9 cent level. 9 cent, we're coming down nicely. We've got the breakouts looking positive. It looks as if we want to start running up at this point all the way up to sort of all-time highs, but we don't. It seems to grind down, and then we've created, similarly to the other cryptos, this sort of negative suppression here where we've been grinding down. Yeah, we've had a fake out here, fake out there, grinding down, and we're in this sort of falling wedge sort of formation. So over the course of this weekend, we got the breakout on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. We're sort of retesting what was resistance into support. So if this holds successfully, then we will be going to the cheddar factory, believe me and you. However, VRA is one of the small caps. It's only approximately worth about $12 million in total. So it doesn't take a lot of money to move VRA. And in my view, we could grind down up until the apex. Again, you can see here, if we follow down vertically, it's around the 7th of May, yeah, approximately. So 7th of May, 7th, 8th of May, we set off at the Fed meeting potentially, and then we can begin to collect the cheddar. So you know what, we're only about 3 weeks, worst case scenario, before we see some massive moves, if not Wednesday this week, with this sort of Fed speech, yeah, when Jerome Powell comes out. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's positive news. All the crypto charts are looking really good. We've had breakouts now. We're just waiting for the volume from the market makers to pick us up so we can run off to town, yeah? M2 money supply also looking good. Tick, 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 tick. Ding, 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 ding. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. This is where the markets are telling us now. M2 money supply, all the money, global liquidity is looking as if we are on for it. So this is obviously M2 money supply with this yellow line here. And then Bitcoin is following the M2 money supply pretty much to a T. Yeah, so this is where we are now. So this is 17th of April is around this. So this is a sort of bottom for the M2 money supply before we get going. So we could have another couple of days, like we say, another couple of days where we're sort of hovering around, consolidating. We could make a pullback, but certainly I believe from sort of Wednesday, 17th, is that the 17th? Well, that's Thursday. So, yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, I believe we'll start getting going and it'll start going parabolic. Bitcoin will go off, crypto will go off, bam, 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 bam. We can start collecting the cheddar, guys. So, yeah, hopefully we do see some of you guys in the Discord as well. I have got it pinned in my tweet up here as well. So, if I just click on my profile there, I'm doing a $100 giveaway for the first 20 members inside the Discord. So, we're a few away yet. As soon as we fill up the to full sort of capacity, 20 members, I will then draw out a name out of the hat and I will just send or wire one of you lucky winners $100. And there we have it, guys. But yeah, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to share, like, comment, do what you got to do as always. I've been the Block Bull. Until next time, the Block Bull is over and out.